It's we're live now, so go on. Let me hear it.
I don't know.
What's the theme music, man?
Do 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 do.
Wow. You got to see Latoya today. Welcome to Real Estate Hour, Latoya and James. You got to see Latoya today. She came in with a little fruit water. I'm like, man, that's the W Hotel right there. When you walk in, the nice fresh fruit.
That's water. That's Capital Grilled.
Is there watermelon in there?
Yes.
Stop it.
No.
It's
grapefruit, pineapples, and strawberries, and everything that promotes something. But don't ask me right now. But it does something.
So deep down inside, there's this mythology.
Something is being done.
Okay. The funny thing is, this show started out with you drinking wine, and now we're down to fruit water.
Wine and coffee.
That is true. Wow, there's a progression to this show. We're growing.
Yes.
Latoya, you've been kicking butt this week, man. Talk to us, man. What you been up to?
Well, I executed 3 contracts in one day.
What's my name? What?
3 contracts in one day.
I'm trying to be you and grow up.
I'm just trying to grow up still.
So yeah, she's been kicking butt, and it's funny. She's just doing it with the buyers and the listers. When I first met Latoya, it was all about buyers, right? And she's definitely changed, and I'm proud of her, man. Good stuff.
Thank you.
But speaking of sellers and listers, what are we going to talk about today? Wasn't that what we're going to talk about?
We're talking about sellers.
Oh, my favorite part of real
favorite.
estate. Man, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm making this a 2-part because there's so much to it. I think there's more of the preparation, which is what this is going to be about, the preparation before you sell, before you sell. Seriously, don't put a house on the market if you're not ready.
Right.
We are going to talk about a house that I put on the market, got a contract, $15,000 over asking to find out all the things I told him to do was not done. So what do you think happened to that contract, Latoya?
Fell through.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So one thing about hiring a realtor, it's very important. When you hire a realtor, you understand you're hiring a professional. You understand we've probably done a couple of these deals. Most people probably buy 1 or 2 houses in their lifetime. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
The standard person, 1 or 2 homes in a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
There's some who just move every 3 years, which is crazy for me. Like nomadish.
Awesome
I'll take it. Keep moving.
No complaints.
Keep moving. And look, we'll buy and sell for you. We'll do it for you. But man, to never get settled.
But forever in real estate is like 5 to 7 years. So forever is, I'm going to stay in this house forever. I know one person, my dad, he bought his house when I was 1.
Okay.
Still lives in that house to this day.
That's my father too. My father we were one of the first residents of the colony because he wanted to live in the country. He still has it. I mean, it's crazy that he still has that home and he'll never get rid of that home. And then he started the rental property thing, but we would always live in that home. No matter what, we always came back to that home, right? That was a baby.
Yeah, and if he wants to sell it, which I'm trying to make him sell it. I said, hey, we're going to get it one way.
He's moving in with you.
No. He's happy. So I'm trying to get them to, move on over. Like, let me just buy it from you. I don't even want you to give it to me. Let me buy it. You take the money. You go sell off into the wind with your wife.
Who would have known that Latoya does reverse mortgages? Good to know that you do reverse mortgages, Latoya.
Is it that's not a reverse mortgage.
Yeah, it is. If you buy it from them before they, then they get the money to enjoy, and you get to have the house when they, it's reverse mortgage.
Okay, well, I'm reversing my dad's mortgage.
Well,
How about that?
Go ahead and call Latoya today if you want some reverse mortgage help. She'll be willing to get on that phone with you and help you out. So let's keep going forward. Sellers. So when you hire a real estate agent, do take this one advice. If you're hiring a professional, it's like a lawyer telling you don't do this, or a mortgage broker telling you don't do this, which I've had that this week, where a mortgage broker told somebody exactly what not to do and they did it. And they wondered why we lost a day to close. Well, if we're telling you to do something, there's got to be a good reason for it. And like I said, most of us have been through this over and over again. It's not a new episode for us. We're telling you to do something that's because we know it's going to either make the close smoother, or it may be something that is legally obligated by the rules and regulations of wonderful Trek. So we follow the rules. We went through many classes. Good God, how many classes have you taken?
We're not done.
All right, right? Like continuing education. How much continuing education can one person take?
It's called continuing. It's going to continue. It doesn't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
And real estate changes every day. I mean, it really does. I mean, goodness, there's times I think I know it, and then the contract's brand new. I mean, good Lord have mercy. So That being said, we're going to start with the outside, because there's this thing called curb appeal. I don't know if you heard of it, Latoya.
Yeah.
What's curb appeal?
The appeal of the curb.
So is it conducive to have grass that's 7 foot tall, weeds in your flower bed, paint that looks like, it went through a hurricane, everything? Is that conducive to a good sell?
Absolutely not. I've gone to houses, I've had houses scheduled, and I've had buyers to wave down the window, tell me to let down the window. No, we don't want it.
I love that. You don't even get a chance to get out the car, right? They've already met you at the car to say no.
No, they don't get out the car. They honk the horn and they signal and they tell you to go.
It's like on the first date, right? You see this girl and you meet her and her hair is all crazy, just out there. And that's your first impression. The dude comes, holes in his jeans, hair all bad, hasn't brushed his teeth in 2 days. How long is that date gonna last, Latoya?
Do you even get to the date part?
I mean, I don't think you do. I think
okay.
You kind of do a meet and greet. Hey, bye, I got to go. Right?
No. You do a drive-by.
I like it. A drive-by.
It's the same. Standard. It's standard.
When buying a home, when selling a home, and I always say this to sellers, because as I deal with sellers, I see sometimes they forget the emotional beat on the buy side. They really do. When selling a home, you have to think about, what if I was coming to this home for the first time, what would I want to see? And that's what you should do. Let's start with mowing the lawn. That's the easiest one.
Simple.
One of the easiest ones is to mow the lawn. And then keep it maintained throughout the listing. How hard is this?
Just hire the kid across the street to come and mow the lawn.
Or little Billy, or get your son out there. Hey, if it gets down to it, if I have to mow that lawn and get that sale, I'm gonna mow the lawn, man.
You know what? I'll call my dad. My dad does lawns. Can you go and cut the yard so I can sell the house? Yes, I will. I'll call my dad. He's done it.
And nobody here is asking you to do a landscaping job, right? I'm not asking you to plant trees and put in new bushes. Now, I would love if you would get rid of dead trees. Now, I know it's a pretty expensive thing to do. Don't get me wrong. But a dead tree really has no reason to be on your lot unless you just kind of, have sentimental reasons. I don't know. Have you ever had a sentimental reason for a dead tree in your yard? Maybe you do.
But you're selling it, so it's no longer your sentiment.
Yeah, but I mean, but we kind of want that gone. I mean, I want to. The one thing I was told when I first got real estate, that when people go in the house, the first thing that most people think about is putting food on those countertops. That's what I was always told, that people already look at those countertops if they can put food on them, and I never understood what that meant, right? And so I bought my first home. And I would put food on the countertops. When you go to the grocery store, you put on the countertops. Mm-hmm. When you start to cook, you put things on the countertops. Oh, you make it out of that cutting board, everything goes on the countertop, right? Mm-hmm. So if I don't even make it to the inside of your home to see that countertop, what's the chances of me getting a sale?
Like minimal.
All right. So I always say this to somebody: Are we doing a wholesale deal? Or are we doing a retail deal? If we're doing retail. In anything retail, you want it flashy. You want it. It's almost like when your house is against other homes in the market, your house must stand out, right?
Absolutely.
So if your house is the only house in the block with the big grass, the paint, the tile falling off the roof,
the gutters,
you know how they do that? Like they're doing the wave over there,
Yeah.
Like you've had so many leaves and water in your gutters that they're sagging now because you just didn't get up there and take out a couple of leaves. So now we got a different problem, right? So we're beating, and I am beating this into the bush, and I'm really being strong about this because it is the first impression. This is what people see first, and they're looking, and let's be real. As they're driving and looking at your house, they typically pass another sign. Have you noticed something? Hey, I saw that one. Have you ever had that?
Did that one come up? Is that one? Well, it's probably not in your criteria or out of your price range or something, but
we don't want them to look at that one. We want them to look at yours. Yeah. So it's important that you do the simple things of cosmetics to the front and to the back. Clean it up. No clutter. We don't need 20 grills.
No.
No grills. Like the collection of grills out there, No grills. Or just, what are the things you see people leave? Like tires in the back. What are we doing here?
The basketball goes right there in the front of the driveway. Yeah. It's a lot. It's simple things that can be done that people just don't think about. But when you're thinking about it as a buyer, when you're going to look, what do you look at? You look at the same thing. So why not give Why not give that off when you're selling?
I do with my list whenever I list a home, and it's very big for me. I will take a client to look at 2 homes. Oh, we're not buying anything, and in some cases they are, but most of the time they're not. I make them look at 2 homes to see how they've done things, how they've cleaned their yard, and then I'll take them back to their home and say, "Now, what do we need to do?" And typically they got an idea of what they need to do. That's the rule that I follow, and I'm going to continue to follow that rule because I believe that listers sometimes, or sellers, sellers sometimes forget what it was like to buy.
Yeah.
And all they care about is selling, and I just want to get rid of it as is. Well, as is isn't going to work all the time. Sometimes we got to put a little work into that. All right. Now, that's the outside. And like I said, we spent about a good 10 minutes on the outside because to me, that's the most important. It really is. Secondary. Let's clean the house.
Ding, ding, ding.
I'm going to repeat that one more time. Help me out here. Let's clean the house. I mean,
there's no reason why a 3,000 square foot home should have a mattress sitting in the living room when you first walk in.
I didn't know that. The one thing I say is the bathrooms have to be spotless. Like, you can't have the little soap ring. Are you with me right here?
Ew.
People, they call it in sales playing the tape. That somebody when they walk in, they're playing the tape. They're saying, oh, when we move in, we're going to put our chairs right here. They talk to us about that too. Oh, we can put our chair right there, and we can put our desk over here. And then, oh, I'm not going to get in that bathtub.
Yeah.
Little fungi that grows, that black, that gets in the tile. I mean, clean the house. You're trying to sell it. Nobody wants to look at a home that is clustered.
Hire cleaning service. That's the best thing you can do.
Nobody wants to be in a home that's clustered. So don't hoard stuff home. And don't think that the best thing to do is then hoard it in the garage. Because that's what I get, where you're about to sell and they move everything into the garage and we got a solution here.
And the house is still full. You know what I do? I bring to my listing after I go through the listing and I go through the home and I bring them boxes next. Okay, so here are some boxes.
I like that.
I do, I promise. I bring boxes. Okay, so what we need to do is declutter. I bring boxes. Declutter.
And I'm gonna try that. But I preface this because I see this so many times where you go in a home that has too much furniture. And it might be spacious, but they automatically say, we don't have enough space here. We don't want this home. I'm like, no, if you get some of this clutter out, this home is gonna fit your needs. I don't want to have to have that conversation with the buyer. And I do. And I don't want to have that conversation with the seller either. Like, get rid of the clutter. Do not have clutter. Show it to be spacious. Show it to be open. That's what people want to have. They want things that are open and spacious, typically. Now, there's some single families who don't care about that. No kids, but most people with kids don't want clutter.
No.
Right? So, clean the home. Next thing is, if there are issues that you can fix them. And they can be so minute. Like, those old school closet doors that opened up and they kind of form a V. You know what I'm talking about? So you pull them straight and you pull them back out in the little V's.
What do you call
almost like accordion-like doors, right? So every once in a while those tops come off, and now it's a hanging door that kind of does this now and opens out this way. It's now doing a whole 360.
Fix it.
Hey,
fix it.
It's a screw, man. It's a screw. Mm-hmm. If your door is kind of lopsided, fix it. Mm-hmm. If your door stop is gone, put it back on. These are minimal. Like I always tell everybody, I call the $100 fix. The $100 fix up. Anything that needs a screw and a hammer, I call $100 fix up. It really is. Go buy some screws and fix things. Those little minutia things, they seem small to you because that was your home. But the new guy coming in, although they're buying it as is, to them, this is new to them.
Yeah.
And they want to be kind of new when they walk in with a little wear and tear. But they don't want to come in to have to fix up the things that you neglected for, let's say, 5 years?
Yeah. Not only that, people are walking in and they're steady counting off money. Well, I'm going to have to fix that door, so I want to take $100 off that. And it's not even $100. They're thinking, I think I need $1,000 to fix that accordion door. I need another $500.
We'll just get a new one since they broke it, right?
To do the door stopping. Oh, well, we're going to need a whole new, we need brand new carpet in here. So is there a carpet allowance? Just need to clean the carpet.
Just clean it. That's nothing. And I'm glad you went there. If the carpet can be clean, clean it. And clean it well. I mean, I know so many companies now that do it for like $99 a whole house.
Carpet this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like $99 a whole house now. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's not, that's per size. I'm gonna get somebody else in trouble, but let's say the most 150. That 150 can save you thousands of dollars in the back end. Thousands. Because redoing carpet ain't cheap.
No,
So
it's not.
Clean the carpet. Clean it. If there's little paint touch-ups, touch it up.
That's it.
Touch it up. Because I don't want anybody coming in thinking we need a whole new paint job here.
Yeah.
Touch it up.
Because they're gonna ask, is there a paint allowance? It said nothing about a paint allowance, honey. They will ask. I've had to ask in my last two listings.
You're right.
Is there a paint allowance? Is there a carpet allowance? Is there a furniture allowance? Is there a
I always tell whenever I get that question, like, I've started working buyers, but so I'm used to doing listings, but I always love it when I get asked those questions. Like, I can tell you a couple things they never hide. If there's an allowance, they're going to tell us right away. I mean, they're going to, that's the one thing a realtor is never going to hide. If I'm going to give you some money as an enticement to buy this home,
we're going to tell you up front. I'm going to tell my buyer up front.
Yes. Hey, we don't hide that. We never hide allowances. I promise you that. So you're right. Clean the carpet. I mean, these are simple things. Another thing, this is a big one. Freshen the air. I always have my sellers buy plugins. I always do. And I use vanilla because it's a neutral flavor. I mean, I don't know what you use. I always say vanilla because when you do look at the schematic of neutral flavors, vanilla is number one. Typically in new homes, they use cinnamon, but cinnamon is a smell that turns people off too.
Really?
Yeah, cinnamon's a flavor. But hey, whatever. I'd rather walk into cinnamon than the smell of yesterday's dinner, lunch, and then
laundry.
I was about to go there. Wash your clothes and let's just wash the clothes. But I'm going even further. See, we're being nice because we're only talking about non-pet issues. Were you there with me when we walked in that home? You were there with me when we walked in that home that had
with the pig.
Oh my God! And that's.
Oh God, we couldn't even walk into the laundry room. We couldn't walk into the laundry room.
We walked into a home that when you open the laundry room, and I told you not to open it. You didn't listen to me.
I stood at the door.
I told you.
No.
I
didn't go over there. We'll open that door. I stood at the front door and was like, what animal is here? And it was a little piggy outside.
Yeah, there was a piggy outside, which nobody told us was a piggy. That was pretty crazy.
I didn't know. Charlotte, not Charlotte. What's
Charlotte Webb? That is Charlotte Webb.
No, Charlotte is the spider. But what's the piggy name? Well,
it's called Piglet. Piglet. I like that. Piglet was outside. But it wasn't so much Piglet that scared me. It was opening up that door and smelling that litter box. Clean the litter box. The first thing that people recognize is smell. It's the first thing you pick up on, and you never forget it.
I can walk into a house and I can tell you if it was 2 big dogs or 1 little one. I swear, I showed 2 houses this weekend. They had 2 big dogs. I'm usually spot on with that.
You didn't smell the piggy.
I didn't smell the piggy, but I smelled 2 big dogs.
That was so funny. We was like, y'all not gonna believe this. You have to see it to believe it. We're like, what? Oh Lord.
No thanks.
Yeah, hey, man. It's dinner. But anyway. Like the thought.
Bacon. I like bacon.
If you have pets, there were people who are allergic to pets. Let's start there. There are allergies to pets. It is harder to make a sell to someone who's allergic to pets if you have pets. Now, it's impossible to get all the smell out. I agree. But something as simple as don't let the litter box have 5 days worth of deposits, that's something that we can do. And we all, as a listing agent, I usually do a tour of the home. And I did this time. And that taught me a valuable lesson that I must not believe. I love you guys, but I must not believe. I usually tour the home before I put it on the market. If I give you a punch list of things to do, I won't even push enter on MLS until you've done everything. And in this scenario, I didn't do that. In this scenario, I just trusted, and then it came back to bite me in the butt. But these simple things, like cleaning out your litter box, is important. Another thing, they have this powder, because I have a dog. This powder that you put on the floor and you vacuum it, and it kind of kills some of that pet odor.
Like, even if you don't want to use the powder, put pine salt. This is a do-it-yourself at-home tip, whatever you want to call it.
The Latoya minute. Ding, 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 ding,
ding. Okay. Put pine salt in a bottle, put a little water, and spray your floor.
Hey, I've never done that.
It deodorizes, and it cleans, and it disinfects. Now I'm the pine salt lady. But whatever. Let's continue on.
Now, all this sounds trivial, right? And it's so funny that it sounds trivial, but it's things that people don't do. Latoya and I have been in homes together where these things were done, and we're like, why would they do that? I remember the house that was cluttered, and we're like, why would they not? Why wouldn't the agent have said? They probably did. They just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right. It's we want to get it. I say this to anybody that I list for to get a smooth sell, a really smooth sell, to get the contract to close with unforeseen issues that we cannot control, like termites. If you can find them, you're a good realtor. I can't find them. I don't have the equipment to do them. Right?
What did I say? Like, I stay in my lane.
Yeah, absolutely. If we find out somehow that there was a wiring issue, that I'm not a wirer, I'm not an electrician, so that's not right. But if we can knock out the issues that are seen, it makes the close go a lot smoother. It makes the whole process go a lot smoother. Nobody's asking you to be an expert. Nobody's asking you to do things you don't know how to do. You can always hire a handyman to do some of these things. But let's knock out things that are visual, that we know. I don't want to self-disclosure letter that says, we know we had a leak in our roof. Fix it.
Yes.
Fix it.
Be in the process of fixing it. My last two, I did a contract. I closed on a house, and I did a contract on another one. And they were already, okay, well, there was foundation. So can you update this? Can you sign this updated seller's disclosure where they've done termite treatment? They've gotten the foundation fixed. Do these things as, incentive, like to get the home sold.
As the house I listed, I was happy to say that was a foundation done, 3 weeks ago. Oh, really? Great. And I just know all this stuff 3 weeks ago. I mean, that's awesome to be able to say that.
Yes.
The termites, sure, we already treated for termites. They were done. Here you go.
I love just got redone.
I love that. I love to just sit over this file and supplements that like this big of things that have already been done. So when their client says, hey, there you go. Well, what about the there you go. Well, there you go. Here goes your warranty. You're selling a home. It's like I always tell people about I always go back to cars because most people understand those references. When you're buying a used car, what do most used car companies do before they put it in the lot? What they do?
They do what is it called? Diagnostics
all
first. Of that stuff and kick the tires and
they
check under the
have
hood.
to change tires, they'll do it. If they do the oil pressure, they'll do it. They change spark plugs, they'll do it. They're gonna do everything they can. But what's the one main thing they do in the inside of the car?
They clean it.
And they do what? There's one little thing they always do before they leave. This little spray they do, and they close the door for a day.
They put little air fresheners and stuff in there. Little green packets of air fresheners.
What's that thing called? What's the thing called? It's called that new car smell. Is that what it's called?
That's it.
It's called the new car smell, right?
Yeah.
Well, we need the new house smell. How about that? We want a new house smell. And you need to do your diagnostics, and you need to do the little things to fix them up to get more value. The more you do, the more value you're going to get out of your home, right? I want to list for all the money, not some of it, all the money. But the only way I can list for all the money is that the house is in a condition to ask for all the money.
Yes.
If not, then I must say, here's something so you fix it later on because we don't want to fix it.
Yeah, you can't really get mad because your house came in or somebody sent you an offer for $15,000 less. They got about $15,000 worth of work. It may just be $5,000 worth of work.
But perception.
That's what you're putting out there.
You and I both know perception trumps reality. And even with us with buyers, and you try to tell them, hey, that's not going to cost that much. Well, I need it. I want it. Well, but it's not going to cost that much. But I need it. But it's not going to cost that much. And after that, coming to Jesus moment with them, and like, hey, this fix. First of all, you got to depreciate the value of what you're trying to fix. Then you got to find something to actually match it. Here's pretty much what we can ask for. I don't want to have these conversations. I don't. Now, next thing, appliances via stove. If you have an attached dishwasher, it's coming with the house. It's coming with the house. You gotta leave it.
I had a seller tell me I'm taking the stove. So do you want me to find it? But what are you doing afterwards? I'm gonna go rent an apartment.
You got to see our faces right now. You got to see our faces. What, you need two stoves? We do stackable stoves right now.
We should have did a video.
Yeah, we should have done a video because you got to see our face. That was pretty funny. We had kind of the same Matrix thing going on back up. Whoa! But it's go ahead. I'm taking my stove to go.
I'm taking my dishwasher.
It's going with the house, and the vent, it's going with the house. Now, if a microwave is attached to the home, it's part of the home.
we have like a real non-realty items addendum.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's attached to the home, it stays. If you have drapes that are custom for that home, unless you exclude it,
It's
they
coming.
stay.
They're coming. You know,
They-
know those little things you push and it dims the mirrors. Oh, I love that thing. I don't know if you've seen it before.
Dim the mirrors?
Yeah, it's a way that it dims the mirrors.
Oh.
And it kind of pulls the drapes in and closes them down, and so you can adjust it for what time of the day. If you got that and we saw that, it's probably coming with it.
We like it because of that.
No, there is. She brought up a good term, and we should explain it. There is something there that is called exclusions in the contract. So you can write in these exclusions, but do understand, to get an inspection done, they want to have a stove. They want to have a dishwasher if it's present. If it's not present, that's fine. It's totally different. And if it's an attachment, they're going to test it. Now, why do I preface this? Have them in good working order. I mean, this is so simple. Have them in good working order, or we're gonna have to pay to get them another one.
Mm-hmm.
Have them in good working order. It's very simple. You know, if you know this, you know the ones with the coils, and you know that always is that one that you gotta kind of bend in to get it to work.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's kind of doing the wave on the stove when you try to put your pot on and slipping.
Oh,
Let's fix that.
Yeah,
let's fix that.
Get another stove. You can either get another stove for less, or
the little unit costs
we'll have to do
$30.
$1,000 allowance for a stove, or you can go and buy one.
And it's a $30 fix. That little piece that goes in there, so the prong, it's $30. $30. It's so simple. So if you know you have issues, get it fixed. If you don't know, get it diagnosed. So diagnosed. Wow. Yeah, that's got proper English etiquette. I think. Anyway, we're gonna roll with it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna own it.
The real estate hour.
Got it. So,
Did you say cut it?
Got it. So if you don't know, get it diagnosed. Because the one thing I love to do is have a diagnostics report, and someone says, "Well, we don't know if it's." There you go. We had it diagnosed. Mm-hmm. This person says it works just fine, and let's move on. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, there are things that are grandfathered in, so we will say that, but there are things that aren't. I don't care if the stove was from 1950. It needs to work.
Yeah.
It's got to work. You can't grandfather that in.
It's vintage.
Yeah, vintage. Vintage, you can take it with you when you buy them another one. You know what I mean? And another thing I love is when people have these heart attachments to things, right? Well, we love those lights, so we want to take them. No. And if you're going to take it down and change it before we list it, not after we list it. Take it down now, because how I see the home is how I expect to get the home.
Yeah.
But I that's the most craziest thing I've ever seen, that somebody fell in love with the light fixture. We just have that light fixture. Is it okay if we take it? We're going to find the same one and install the same one, because that's what people are going to put a contract on, because that's what they saw. I can't say when they call me, "Hey, James, so we want to buy this home. Oh, well, by the way, those chandeliers you saw up front, we decided to take them with us." And they're going to say, "What do you mean you'll take them with us?" My client fell in love with these chandeliers. That's why they want to buy the home.
About it. The chandelier.
How's that conversation going to go? You're the buying agent, I'm the listing agent. What you going to say to me right now?
Okay, well, no thanks.
Isn't that called the bait and switch type of thing? You baited me in with this thing, and then you took it?
Yeah.
If you love it so much, before we put a contract down for our listing agreement, take it out.
Take it out and replace it with something comparable, or it doesn't matter. Just replace it.
Do what you got. Whatever you want to do. Hey, I don't even have to know about the chandelier.
Oh, I want to go back to the appliances real quick. Mm-hmm. I had a listing probably 4 years ago, and inspection was done. Everything was done, and when the clients moved out, my sellers moved out, and the refrigerator and everything was in working order. Mm-hmm. They couldn't get the refrigerator, the water line from the refrigerator. So guess what they did?
What did they do?
Cut it. They cut it. So when the water gets turned on for the inspection, for the appraisal, guess what happens? Water everywhere.
Hey, that's called the refrigerator shower that you don't want to have. Yeah.
Everywhere.
That's all.
So just be mindful of that as well. You don't want to have a situation. Luckily, we had some buyers, and we got a contractor over that hour, within that hour, mm-hmm. and the buyer actually, went in half with the seller, which they didn't have to do. Mm-hmm. But those are things that we shouldn't have to be worried about. Like, have it done properly, do it the correct way, because these are things that you would look for when you would buy a home. I don't want to buy a home like that.
Absolutely.
Fix it, do it right.
And I didn't get the contract stage or the inspection stage yet. We're going to get there, but we're right now just doing pre. We're still at the pre because there's a lot.
Yeah.
I always preface this now, and I say this now. You are selling this home. There should be no emotional attachment to it. You are selling this home. There should be no emotional attachment to it.
It's a property to the sellers and home to the buyers. I
have watched after an inspection that sellers will get so, oh no, and I don't like that he said that. Slow down. That's a neutral party. He has no connection to this property. The only thing he cares about is doing a report and saving his license and using, because he's writing his word when he does his inspection report. It goes in his name. It's following his name. The only thing he cares about when he shows up is doing an inspection. He has no, interior motive against you. He doesn't even know who you are. He's never met you. No. You cannot take, I have watched people take that report so personal. It's like, what are you doing?
But it's really it's a testament on how you keep your home. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you've neglected it for 5-10 years, then who's really, I think at that point they're kind of, they're
embarrassed, or,
There you go. I tried to be nice. Embarrassed.
Let's make it simple. It's Texas, right? And so we know the land moves. If you're not watering your foundation, like you're supposed to, you're probably in a foundation problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take care of things. If you're not watering your grass, you're probably going to have foundation problems. If you're not cutting the trees back from the top of the roof, you're probably going to have shingle issues. You're probably going to have sap that's gone on there. You're probably going to have leaves that have rubbed on your shingles. You have to do things to take care of your home. It's called maintenance. Mm-hmm. You maintenance your car, right?
Yes.
You got to get oil change, right?
Oil change, spark plug.
If you don't put gas in it, what happens?
You run out.
And why won't it start? Because you don't have any gas in it. The same with the home. You got to maintenance your home. If you maintenance your home, when you sell your home, you'll have less issues. If you don't maintain your home, well, then when you're trying to sell, there's going to be a lot of issues. So don't take that report personal. Although the buyer does pay them, they don't know them. They're not buddies. Nothing. There's no buddy here. They don't go have cocktails after the report's done. Because let's keep in mind, you give me a contract. You as a buyer and agent, you must want the home. You're not going to pay somebody to tell you, hey, don't buy the home. That's not what you're wanting. No. You just want to know what you're buying. Yes. So there is no friendship in this report. Do not take it personal. But before we get to the inspection, we were talking about the pre-stuff. Do the small things now so we don't have to deal with them later. Because eventually we're going to have to deal with these issues. Mm-hmm. Either we're going to take the credit or we're going to have to do it later. So why not do it before we put it on the market? Doesn't that make some common sense here?
Makes a whole lot of sense.
Let's eliminate problems before they happen. Mm-hmm. And then it's be a smooth transition. Because you as a buying agent, wouldn't you love if I just send you a packet like this and say, here's all the things that have been done. Here's a sales disclosure. Everything you see here. Here's the foundation warranty. Here's the plumbing diagnostics that says there's no plumbing issues. Here's the termite report that shows that we've already taken care of the termites. Here's the new tile we laid down with the warranty. Here's the cleaning that we did for the carpet. I'm just doing this.
Yeah, just off of that, I'm telling them, look, they've done their due diligence. They've taken care of the home, or they've gotten things taken care of. I'm going to want them to, I feel better selling them that home versus selling them a home where it's just like a bunch of stuff we don't know. I feel better with that, selling them that, than just any other home. So
you remember Will's home supplement, all that stuff that was done, and then they already had the credit allotted for the things that weren't? You remember that big supplement that we had for Will?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So those things are lovely. When we want to, if we know that you've done that much, then we know that you've taken time and consideration. So we can tell our buyer, hey, we're comfortable with this. Like, they're really working, right? So those are the foreseeing things. Take care of it. We've already talked about cleanliness. We've talked about keeping the air fresh. Please keep the air fresh.
Please change out your filters.
Please, yes. The worst thing ever to
dust off the vents.
Oh my god. And then you go in there thinking, let's put on a mask because we don't want to, clean those simple things. Change the filters. Another thing that's a simple fix. A simple fix. There's just things called light bulbs. You've heard about these light bulbs?
Yeah, they're awesome.
And if light bulbs are out, what should you do before you put in the market?
Change it.
And you know why you want to change it? Because the first thing they say is it an electrical problem?
It's electrical.
Or is it a bulb problem? And nobody knows because you can do the one. How much are bulbs?
Like Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start taking
Just
over
taking
like
bulbs
a
when we go
little,
out.
just a little bucket of stuff.
There you go.
The mop.
There you go.
That makes
You should have a mop. You should have a mop.
Bulbs, socket, replacement.
You talking about the thing for the
plates, just the plates.
Stop it, not the plates.
What?
You mean I can have a half plate? Have you ever seen that? But like, there's one part that's got the little plug exposed. The other part. What are we doing here?
I don't want to see.
And it's
I
$1.
don't want to see half a plate. I don't want to see no plate. Like,
no plate.
I mean, I'm taking. You know what? We're gonna take $500 out because of that.
Exposed wires. What are we thinking right now? All right, so we've already talked about the maintenance. We've already talked in bulbs. Like I said, these are simple things, and I will have a supplement for you guys. Whenever this is done, I'm going to put in a supplement that has a checklist that I give all my listers, and it's a simple checklist, and it has bulbs on there because although it seems so simple, people ask that the first thing in their head is it's going to be electrical problems. I know that when they just not change the bulb.
The inspector is not. They don't have to change out the light bulb,
Yep.
and they're not going to.
Yep.
They're not going to switch out the light bulb
Yep.
to see if it's light bulb. They don't have to. That's not their job. It's cut the light on, cut it off. That's out. It could be electrical. Check on it. So just eliminate the repair amendment. What do you call it? The lines on the that stuff. Eliminate it.
Wow, give me the line item.
There you go.
The line item.
Good. The line item. Eliminate that line item. Cut it. So going forward. Now we've talked about the pre. So that's pre-contract. Now we're going to contract. And I will say this to a seller. As is, yes, because I had this conversation 2 days ago. Well, they signed it as is, absolutely, but they know what as is was until the inspection. So as is means we see what you see, right? If I walk in home, if you walk in home, you see a crack here and a crack in the ceiling, and tiles buckled up. What are you gonna think? Foundation.
Okay, so if we don't see that, do we think there's foundation issue?
No.
I mean, we're gonna walk around and check. We go outside and see bricks, that have been repaired, or we call it the V split, where they start splitting like this. All right, and we don't see that. We don't know there's foundation issues. Why would we? All right, if there's an underground plumbing issue, if you're that good that you can put your ear on the floor, Latoya, and be like, "There's a leak down there. We don't want this house."
I'm not putting my ear to nobody's floor.
I'm not that good, right? So it takes that inspection to find out these things that Latoya and I and most realtors can't see. And first of all, it's not our job to see that. Our job is to represent the facts at hand. What we see, what do they say in our studies, that what the typical person could see and understand is what we're reliable for. So if we see cracks and we don't tell you, hey, man, there might be a foundation issue, that's on us.
Yeah.
We should know that.
Yes.
But if we don't see those things, because you do know people, sorry to say this, who cover them up, so we can't see them, and then when they go out there for the inspection, it's exposed. These are things we're gonna know, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to this inspection, and it's very important, we've said this before, we've had an inspector on here, but I'm gonna preface it again. They are going to look at everything. It's okay, right? But there's certain things that you must do before the inspector comes out. And this is why I really wanted to talk about the inspection. All utilities must be on.
Yes.
All.
Please.
You're wasting my time if the utilities aren't on. Everything should be in working functional state. We had an inspection where somebody turned off the pilot for the water heater. So one of the things they test is what?
The hot water heater.
And do you think he's going to sit there and wait for that water heater to heat up again? And for an hour, he's going to sit there and wait. Let me wait for this to come back on.
No.
If you turn off certain things that we don't know where they're at, right? Another one I saw was, we turned the gas off when I was living there. So how does he test that? He's got to test the gas is working if there's no leaks. So all utilities, not some, I don't want to repeat that one more time. Just having electricity on is not okay. You got to have the water and the gas on. This is so simple. Before the inspection comes out, they must be on, all utilities. Second, the house must be accessible.
Yay.
What are we doing right now? You put a contract and I tell you, hey man, I know we have a 5-day option, but I can't let you come in for 7 days. How does this work? So now we're writing an amendment already. We're already starting an amendment for your option period.
Jeez.
The house should be accessible. If it's not going to be accessible, why is it in the market? We're trying to sell it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that when an inspector calls you to say, hey, this house you're trying to sell, I'm coming to do an inspection, you're going to say, okay. But it's so funny that doesn't happen all the time. We're acting like it does. I've dealt with 2 in this last month where there was no accessibility. I'm like,
really?
what are we doing right now? So as a listing, if I'm your agent, I'm going to tell you right away, I need to be on option period. I need all those days open for anybody and their mother to come to this house they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Because if we can't do that, we're not signing this contract. If you go on vacation, I don't care. I'll be here.
Yeah.
No, we have. That's why we have these nice things called super, right? These super boxes and put a key in there. They code and they go in.
I call it the key to the city.
Hey, we got the key to the city. We got you. You hired us. We'll do that. So if you're going on vacation, we don't need you there. We don't need you there for inspection. The inspector doesn't want to talk to you. Yeah, exactly.
We don't want you there for showings or inspections.
Yeah, we don't just go away. Hey man, go take your family to dinner. Have a great time at dinner, right? Hey, if it's in the daytime, go to brunch, mimosas.
Just go.
Everybody.
Go to your neighbor's house.
Everybody.
You should like your neighbors.
Celebration.
Go to your neighbors.
Well, you should see them because you're moving, right? So you do want to see them before you leave, right?
Yeah,
right?
just go.
Celebration. So, and it's so funny. I think a lot of people on here are like, why are we beating this into the bush? Because I've dealt with this. As a lister, I deal with this all the time. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And let's not be doing repairs while the inspectors go in there. They should already been done.
Yeah.
I've had that. Guys walking in and the guys at the wires. I was like, well, what are we doing here? Well, I'm installing GCFI. You should have done that before I got here. Now we need to reschedule this.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, I got that going on now. I'm the buyer's agent, and we have the inspections scheduled for 8:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh well, just to let you know, they're coming out to do this and do that," and I'm like, "Okay."
So why didn't we push the inspection back till they're done? Which is,
mind you, they've had a contract on it already. It just fell through.
But here's a one thing that I know this about Latoya, and I tried this myself. I'm going to communicate with the buying agent, and if I know, like when I put this listing back, I told the lady, "Hey, we're doing work on it till 5, so you can go after 5 to see the home, because I don't want construction going on while you're walking your client to the new home." Right. So if I knew something that was happening, like, hey, the gas is not going to be on for 2 days, so although you're trying to give me a 5-day option, I'll say let's do a 7-day option. So you get your true 5, no issue, same dollar amount. It's on us, but I'm going to communicate with you.
Right.
You know, and we don't need to hide any facts from each other. Thus are facts from us either.
Yeah.
You know,
we have a common goal to get it sold.
Exactly. And as a buyer, to get your client in that house. We agents typically, I say typically because you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're typically trying to make this be a smooth transition, and we're gonna do a lot of talking with each other. If your buyer has an issue and you know a question they just have to answer, Latoya's gonna call me and I'm gonna talk to her and say, hey, no issue. Let me see this paperwork. We're gonna do everything we can to have a smooth transition. That's what typically happens. I'm not gonna say lie to that. Always happens. That's what typically happens, right? For me, there's no emotional attachment to your home. The only attachment I have to your home is to get it sold. It's not mine, and it's not yours anymore. It's somebody else's now. Mm-hmm. But it's my job to make sure it's prepared and ready for them to move in when the contract says it's time to move in. Mm-hmm. It's my job to make sure that you give full accessibility to the home. Stop. Full accessibility to the home so we can get that smooth close. Because we've only talked about inspection. Who else is coming over?
The appraiser. The end all, the grand dame of
the man who says we're gonna fund it or not.
Yeah.
And this guy, you're not gonna let in the house. I'm walking away. I didn't want to talk to y'all no more.
Yeah.
Let's repeat what I just said. The man who says the value of your home, the guy who writes letters saying we're gonna fund this or not, we're gonna fund this or not. If he calls you and says, I want in, what should you say?
Yes. Oh, yes, you can come in.
I mean, I'm worried about what you were going to say. You better be careful over there. So, Latoya, and see, the fruit water got to you today. Can you imagine? I don't get it. Because I've had that where appraiser says, I didn't get in, and if I can't get in next time, we're not going to fund this deal. We should never get there.
We should be, anything he says he needs, we should be getting it to him, because the last thing you want is for appraiser to say, well, I couldn't get in, so we have to postpone it another, I can't get back out there for another 5 days.
And they'll do that. And you got to remember, there's these locks on interest rates that expire, and there's all these things. Then your term for your contract's now changed. Now we're writing amendments. See, the worst thing we ever have is when we start writing amendments. That's always bad. When we start writing amendments, then people start not believing in the sale. So this is the worst that we can happen, that we're not writing. We have to start writing amendments that are extending the dates. There's some amendments for repairs. That's fine.
Yeah.
Credits. That's fine. But when we're writing amendments to extend dates, people start getting a little nervous about that.
You don't want to do that.
You know, so everything we're telling you here, and like I said, we're talking now, we're in the inspection phase. When we go post-inspection, there's a lot more. There's a lot more that we have to do. But we're talking now in the inspection phase, access to the property. We've talked about the pre, where you need to have the house ready to go, right? But all these things must seem so simple to everybody. But I promise you, sitting right here, they are overlooked most of the time. I've never in my life seen, as long as I've been a realtor, seen it where it's perfect. There's always something missing in this process. We didn't mow the lawn. We didn't cut the trees. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. We didn't give access. We didn't do this. If we want a smooth close, if we want to actually hit the date that's on the contract, like when I hear people say, we want to close in 3 weeks, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do because it must be perfect. That's the only way you close in 3 weeks. Because anytime there's any pitfalls here, pitfall there, we ain't closing 3 weeks. And if you can make it happen, Latoya, write the book. I will buy it. I will help you sell it. If you don't follow our simple instructions, like I said, we are going to give you a checklist. I have made this checklist. It will be a supplement to this video. If you do not follow the instructions, you can't look at anybody else when you don't sell. If a contract falls through, these delays that happen, these are things you created.
Absolutely.
So on the next one, we're going to talk more about the post. And the reason I want to go post, because there's options. I think people always think, well, they want all these things done, we have to do them. That's not true. It's not true at all.
No. There's
things like credit. This is when the realtor needs to negotiate. This is when we sit down and we say, really? Really?
Yeah.
So you want us to paint the whole wall because there's a scratch at the left corner of the living room?
No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah. So you want us to replace carpet on this home for what reason?
Yeah.
Just because you don't like the color?
I've had even sprinklers. Sprinkler systems are optional.
Let's change that. Sprinkler systems are a luxury.
They
not
are
a requirement. They're a luxury.
My client had one. We did the inspection, and they weren't working properly. But the things most of the things we took care of. So we did probably about $2,000 worth of repairs that came through. Look, this is where it is. This is what's happened. Here's the invoice. This is what's wrong with it. We're not going to do it. It's not a appraisal required repair. So here it is.
My exact words once were, they're decorative now. I have said that. Those are decorative. They don't work. You can get a fix later on, but to us, it's decorative.
I have an estimate on it. I have an estimate on it if you want to call the contractor who can do it. But,
exactly.
We're not doing it. And a lot of times it's like, oh, okay. And, just say those things up front. Get that out there up front. We can respect it.
The best one I swear, this is beautiful. They had never used the sprinkler system. So she said in her self-disclosure, they're out there, we just don't know where they are. And it was the truth. They're out there, we know where they are. And we have never used it. We don't want to use it. They're out there, we know where they are.
Seller's disclosure. We need to talk about the seller's disclosure. We can't, us as realtors, we can't touch it. Oh, yeah. We cannot touch that.
I love it when people say, can you fill this out for me?
No.
It's the only thing that we cannot send in electronic form. Have you noticed that? We cannot send an electronic form. And they want to know that you wrote that. That's pretty interesting. It's the only form as a realtor that we cannot send electronically. Now, I can put your address in there. I can put your name in there. And the rest of it's up to you, my friend. It's not my home. How can I disclose what's wrong with your home? It's your home. Anything I'd be giving is a guesstimate. You live there.
And there's a column what they don't see, or What if I don't know? There's a column on there that
It says I
unknown.
don't exactly.
I don't know. Was it unknown or I don't know?
I think it's
on
inapplicable
there.
or something. No, yeah, it's I don't know. Or
Yes,
unknown.
No.
Unknown.
Yes, no, or you.
Mm-hmm.
Unknown.
Unknown. When we don't expect you to overthink, like the one that I see a lot is, do you have, what type of wiring do you have? How the heck goes up there? I don't know. But we know somebody's going to tell us, the inspector. Yeah. But I don't know. I wouldn't know what's in my house right now. I don't know. Right? But they don't expect you to know everything. That's why it's called seller's disclosure. Disclose what you know. Trust me, the inspector's going to find it.
Yeah.
If you know it and you're not telling us, the inspector's going to tell that tale. We're not going to go into misrepresentations of facts. We're not going to go into that, because I would hope that anybody on this podcast would understand that we need to be truthful. You need to be truthful. You cannot withhold information that's imperative to a sale. You can't withhold information about flooding. If it flooded, you need to tell people. Yes. Although you want to get out of it, do understand that somebody's trying to buy something and they're trusting us and you to disclose all known facts. Keywords are known facts. Unknown is okay, but would you want to move into a home where somebody knew it flooded every time it rained, and you bought this brand new home, you moved in your nice furniture, TV, and it floods? So why would you do that to somebody else?
Yeah.
I mean, this is some serious stuff, because this will be legal. Becomes legal, and it gets ugly. So do you, myself, Latoya, a favor. Just be honest.
Yeah.
We can work around most things.
Yeah.
Again.
Everything is going to be, whether it's the inspector, appraiser, or the insurance that they're trying to get on the home. They know when it's been broken into twice. They know when it's flooded from the insurance that you filed on it. They know these things.
Here's a big one. It's funny that you said that. I was an insurance adjuster. Before we do eating claims, let's say, like, the best one I can give you is Sandy, because before then we had Ike. So Ike could come through and did damage. So when I would go on my computer and the new claim would be there, I would know if they closed that claim. I would know what they covered the first time. So if I went outside and the same damage was there and your claim wasn't closed, I would know that you can do it. So you're not going to get around it. And you can't close with an open claim. I'm going to repeat that. You can't close with an open claim.
Nope.
So if you just got that check to do the roof and you don't do it,
and you just sit on it and bought new furniture,
what happens when it gets time close to close and title gets involved and they start asking the right questions?
Ooh.
They're going to say, hey, we ran this report and we see there's an outstanding claim. Have you closed that claim? And when you call me as an adjuster, I'm going to say I need proof that the work was done. When you send that to me, that we can close the claim. The one reason we know and give you an incentive to do the work, I got half your check.
Yeah.
For the most part, I got half of your check. I've given you enough to get started, but I got the other half. And when people have an incentive to get more money, they're going to send in the paperwork to close the claim. So we know. You're not fooling anybody. So don't let that be the reason why you don't close. Some of these things are integrity. We gotta have some form of integrity, But do know, and I repeat it again, we know. And when you get to title, they know, and they're gonna bring it up.
Yeah.
So that so far is the pre. And thank you for bringing up the seller disclosure. We didn't go deep in the seller disclosure. We probably should have gone a little bit deeper into it. I do love the fact that you did mention that we can't help you. We can't.
We can't touch it.
But
can't touch that.
The main thing that I hope you get from this first part of selling is there's a lot of things you can do. I'm gonna repeat that. There's a lot of things that you, not me, not Latoya, can do to help for a smooth selling process. We are going to help you by telling you those things to do. Are they negotiable? No. Now, if you just say I don't want to do it, that's fine. There's other things we can do, like add credits and things. But if you want us, as your agent, as your professional, to do what we say, like I like to second sell within 30 days, then I'm going to give you a sheet that tells you what needs to be done to make that happen. If you don't do them, don't look at me. Don't look at Latoya. Look at yourself and say, I just would have done that.
We're professionals for a reason. You hire us for a reason. So just listen to us for this 30 days, hopefully, and we can get it done. But we need your help getting it done.
This is a team, but the number one part of this team is you. I work for you.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make you do anything. So you have to decide what you want. Do you want to or not? If you don't, and I have said this, and I mean this, I have walked away from a listing because I said, here's all that needs to be done. And the person said, no. I said, we need to give this credit. The person said, no. I said, we're selling wholesale, retail. He said, retail. I said, I'll never get it sold. I can't do it. I will never get it sold for what you want to, so I wouldn't attempt it. I have no problem walking away from it because I don't like false expectations. I don't.
Right.
So next week, it's kind of weird. We're gonna do this in 2 parts, but next week we're gonna have good old Shelton on this show. And I really can't wait to have Shelton on this show because this is probably the most dedicated mortgage broker I've ever met in my life. I have never seen anybody like him.
Yeah, he's awesome. I've been doing this for 6 years, and this is one of my best lenders by far.
You're welcome.
Thank you, James. One of my best lenders by far. He answers the phone
always, and he'll call you back.
Always.
He's going to call you back.
And if you get off at 2:00 in the morning and he needs to wake up, set his alarm and wake up at 2:00 to call you, he's gonna do it.
And he's so proactive. And I've seen him close things that I gave up on a deal. He's like, James, I'm gonna get it done. And I have never seen a more dedicated lender in my time. And I haven't done it for 6 years. Now, on and off, I've done around there. But I have never seen a man that is that committed to his clients. I'm very excited to have this show. He's got a lot of wealth of knowledge. And, as a realtor, I'll ask him sometimes, hey, man, have you seen this situation? What do you think I should do here? And he'll call me to strategize sometimes, which is really cool. So he'll be on the show. Latoya loves him. I love him. You're going to have a great time. We're going to be at their office, actually. So I'm not going to give you more kudos. I mean, when you hear him speak, you'll know for yourself. We thank you always for tuning in. We love doing it. We love that Latoya has went from wine to the fruit water. Fruit water.
Yes.
Which each fruit does what again?
Stuff.
Okay, well there you go.
Health is the best wealth.
That's true, right?
So that's me.
I like it, man. I mean,
getting wealthy.
We progressed here, man. I'm happy for you.
Yes.
But we thank you once again. Next week we'll get that theme music down because we've so failed. It was the ultimate fail.
I forgot it. I'll come up with it.
All right. We're gonna have some new theme music that's a cappella, so y'all wait for it. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for tuning in.